out there. How y'all doing today? My name is Gene Rice, and I'm excited to be with you here today and happy that you decided to join us. I am here for a brief moment to discuss with you a topic as it relates to vision. We're going to look at some lessons that I believe are important, relevant, and will give us a sense of direction based on the way things are right now. Okay. So, what I mean by that vision, I like to start with the verse that comes from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. It says, "Where there is no word from God." In this particular translation, it says, "Vision of prophecy. The people are uncontrolled. The people perish. But those who obey what they have been taught, guard the law, are happy and blessed." In the King James Version, it simply says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Um, this particular day and time that we're currently in, it requires vision for this moment. So the title of this lesson is called 21st Century Vision Development. And one of the key parts that we want to highlight here is if your vision has been predicated, built upon something that existed during a time and era that is no longer in existence, is definitely a topic that we want to explore and look at. And I will start by simply asking this question. If that vision is still the same, it has not accounted for the changes in our society, nor the development and the evolution of how we operate in this day and time, I have a simple question. Are you still getting the same results as before? If you are still getting the same results, are those results adequate for this day and time that we're currently in? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel that you have what it takes to operate at a normal level and at a high level in this day and time? Now let's look at the other part. If you're still operating from a vision from years ago, from a different time and space, different era, if you're not getting those results, what steps have you taken to, one, understand why those results are not being generated? And then what actions need to be changed in this current time frame to generate a different type of experience? All right. And so in this 21st century, we all know that there have been massive changes and shifts that have already taken place, much less are happening right now. And based on this current trajectory that we're on, we can probably experience and expect more changes to come that are large in scale, that are sharp in terms of the type of changes that are taking place. And I would venture to say that a lot of things that we have called normal, a lot of the things that we have depended upon in the past, even those things are being challenged and they're being stressed just to see if it meets what's required for this day and time. All right. So, real quick, these lessons, this is just simply a talk before the lessons. All right. This is not the lesson right here. The But this is just simply the talk before the lessons. So these lessons that are going to be forthcoming, they're aimed for deep and reflective thought. My opinion, sometimes I think we get so caught up in the requirements of each day and each week that we may not create enough time for reflective thought and deep thought. Reflection allows us to look back and consider those things that have already occurred. It allows us to think about, are we living in such a way where things are aligned with what we believe, where we're going, and who we're trying to become? All right? Think about that. Our reflection allows us to look back, consider those things that have already occurred, and to ask ourselves, are those things aligned? Are those things allowing us to move based upon where we're going and what we're trying to get to? And also, are those things aligned with who we're trying to become? All right. That's what reflection, that's just one aspect of what reflection does for us. Here's a key point or an insight. It's been noted that if you want to change something, you want a different result or experience, or to create a different set of conditions. A lot of times our initial approach is just think about what we're going to do in terms of changing our actions in the future, or what we're going to get in order to assist us with changing something as it relates to the future. But one of the most important steps that you can take when you get ready to make changes in today as well as moving forward is to reflect. Pick a time frame from where you currently are to a time, go back as little or as far as you need to, and then just reflect upon that time. And then just consider, what was your thinking? What was your actions? Who were the players that were involved in your life at the time? Consider the nature of those relationships. All right? Consider your mindset, consider your own behaviors, your own attitudes, because based upon what has already occurred, it has already proven to generate certain results, certain experiences that you've already seen. And so oftentimes it is prudent for us to reflect and then take those, again, best practices, lessons learned, and just your overall experience, the value of that experience. And then at least that serves as a starting point in terms of what you're going to address now and moving forward. Because if a thinking about a particular thing is off a little bit, if that thinking hasn't been adjusted, that same thinking pattern is going to persist as you move forward. All right. And so you want to address those things. So again, that point was simply focused on it allows reflective thought. Now, coupled with reflective thought is deep thought. All right. What do we mean by deep thought. Deep thought aims to address not just those things that are on the surface, but rather it aims to drive down to what exists below the surface, several layers deep, down to where the root cause exists. All right? Where the root cause of a thing, where it grows, it develops, it thrives, and it basically feeds everything that comes forward and becomes visible. So all those things at the root cause, at that level, those are the things that basically builds our reality. It builds the conditions that we see. It builds the results that we have in our life, and it builds the outcomes that we also experience. The root cause. All right. And the root cause is multiple layers deep beyond those things that are visible. All right. So, vision, in terms of what we're speaking about here and the lessons that we're going to be covering, it not only seeks to address or generate reflective thought, but it also seeks to generate deep thought. All right. Deep thought that allows us to get to the root cause of our experiences. Okay. And then finally, once we're able to identify those things, now we can start the process of addressing what lies at the root cause. Because once you start making adjustments there, it's going to start the process of generating different results in the future. That's the key to bringing about change in your current space as well as the future, is going down to the root level, understanding those dynamics and adjusting and tweaking and making, some massive overhauls if necessary at that level. And then that is what's going to generate the different conditions and experiences that we're looking for and desire. So 21st century vision development, that is like a segue. What I just shared is just a segue in terms of what needs to be involved in 21st century vision development. It's going to require some work, but that work is really exciting. That work is really invigorating. That work really brings about life where there is no vision. If we can't even begin to look at the root causes, that means we've created a blind spot. We've created a space that cannot be addressed, which means no matter how much we try to change things above the root cause still has a tendency to pull us back into certain patterns, certain routines, certain ways of thinking that puts us back into a dated mindset, dated behavior that does not match the times in which we live. All right. So it's very important that we apply vision all the way down to those root causes and understand those things that feed, that support, that provides the hydration and nourishment that makes that root cause live and thrive. For some of us, there's some things that exist at the root cause. We want it completely gone. We need it to be uprooted. We need it to be cast away, and we need to create a different type of root. All right. A different type of seed that will germinate so that the things that sprout up from there are the results and the experiences and conditions that we're looking for. All right. So we're just going to hold on that thought. That was just a segue in terms of at least a strong pillar that I think will develop vision that is relevant for the 21st century. All right. Now, that's on the heavier side, but also we're going to look at some things that are on the lighter side as well. Vision is in every facet of our living, and there are different types of visions. We're going to talk about that. There's vision in terms of how we use it. Again, a lot of times we use it from the traditional sense. It's something that people sit down and they think about, hey, here's where I want to go, here's where I want to be, here's who I want to be. And then it's something that gets plastered on a document, on a wall, on a poster board, and then it's kind of forgotten and it has no bearing upon what we do from day to day. So we're going to look at just some practical things as well in terms of what we do, how we operate, and just see how we can leverage vision from a practical standpoint as well. All right. So this was just, for me, it was an icebreaker. All right. That's all this was an icebreaker for me in terms of what we're going to provide. These are going to be lessons that we'll cover. And from these lessons, there are going to be follow-on opportunities for us to engage. All right. So that the communication is not one way, but it is interactive. All right. And I believe if we take the time and opportunity to look at this, I believe the benefits are going to be absolutely tremendous and amazing. So again, my name is Gene Rice. The lessons that come from this platform comes from Gene Rice Ministries, and I'll be sharing more on that as well. But I hope you guys have a good day, and I will be talking to you real soon. Take care.